As we understand, there hasn't been much activity out of the ordinary crossing the border. Has it been any different this morning, though?
You remember, Sakina, when we spoke on Friday, you almost couldn't believe me when I said there was more movement of traffic and people from Zimbabwe crossing into South Africa. In fact, for the most time we were here, it was about, the longest thread of traffic was about 300 meters. You can imagine that. And that has not changed. In fact, we spoke to police and the people on the ground who said even over the last 48 hours, the volumes of traffic were so low and the movement of people wasn't that much. And if you can see behind me, the movement is largely commercial movement with trucks ferrying goods to countries like DRC, countries like Malawi and Zambia. I can tell you now that there's no movement of people now from Zimbabwe crossing into South Africa. We hear that people have been constrained within the borders of Zimbabwe. But if you can solicit my perspective relative to this matter, I can tell you that for many Zimbabweans who work in South Africa, your average Zimbabweans are not high-income earners, and they'll rather stay in South Africa or send money home rather than spending 1,000 on a grueling journey back to Zimbabwe just to vote.
And Lutendo, just speaking to perhaps some of the people who are there, as you say, a lot of commercial traffic more than anything else. What are the drivers saying? Are they excited to be back in Zimbabwe today in order to be able to cast a vote?
I spoke to one truck driver who said he crossed over there yesterday. He had to cast his vote and he's so excited about it. But he's back in South Africa. It's business as usual. Life goes on. But most of the truck drivers here are not necessarily Zimbabwean nationals. They are mostly South Africans who are ferrying goods to neighboring countries, countries that surround the Republic of Zimbabwe.
Well, Lutendo, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for that update. And nothing seems to have changed there at the Beitbridge border post. More commercial activity than people actually making their way back to Zimbabwe to go and cast their vote. But let us know, perhaps you are in that area. Perhaps you are a Zimbabwean who chose not to go back and cast your vote. Tell us why that is at Morning Live. And please, you can also use the hashtag Morning Live to tell us what your views are on that. Well, we're going to go to a break.